Hi. This assignment on Tuesday, February 15th is a review for sentence types like simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. Once you reviewed what those are, then you will complete the practice on slides 7, 9, 13, 15, and 16. Take your time with this, slow down. This is a very important lesson. We've done some of this practice, but this is a review for our coming up Unit 4 Revise and Edit test. So it goes through the learning targets. I can extend my understanding of compound and complex sentence. I cannot connect sentences using a semicolon. I can connect sentences using a semicolon to make a compound sentence. I can use conjunctive adverbs to vary my compound sentences. I can identify independent and dependent clauses in complex sentences. Those are our target goals. Sentence types: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. A simple sentence is also called an independent clause. It contains a subject, verb, and it is a complete thought. An example is, my teacher loves pizza. Now, a compound sentence is when you can combine two standalone sentences, two independent clauses, in one of these three ways to make a compound sentence. So, when you join these sentences together, we have a subject plus a verb, and so it's a complete standalone sentence. It's an independent clause. It has a subject and a verb. And you want to join it, you can join it to another complete sentence, which is a complete standalone sentence with an independent clause and a subject and a verb, by a comma, and you can join it with a fanboy, for, and, nor, but, are, yet, so. Or you can join these two sentences together with a semicolon. Or you can join these two sentences with a semicolon, a conjunctive adverb, and a comma, sort of like however. So semicolon, however, comma, and then you say the second part. What you can never do is join two independent clauses with just a comma, and that is how they often show it in writing. That is your clue. If you're joining two independent clauses with a comma alone, it is incorrect. It will always be wrong. You have to have a comma fanboy, or a semicolon, or a semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma. Compound sentence with the fanboys are for, and, nor, but, are, yet, so. Our class 1, which is a simple sentence by itself, comma, so we earned a pizza party. So our class 1 is an independent clause. We earned a pizza party is an independent clause. We joined it with a comma and a fanboy. So let's practice. And then you will combine sentences using a fanboys to make a compound sentence. Rewrite the sentence in the box with correct capitalization and punctuation. It is cold outside. She put on a sweater. So you're going to combine those two. It was cold outside, comma, so she put on a sweater. And notice when you're combining two sentences, this is now this she, so, and then this she that was a capital here, you lowercase it because it is all part of one compound sentence. So you're going to work these by typing directly into this box. And then the second way is you can join a compound sentence. You can make a compound sentence by using a semicolon to join two complete sentences. So example, our class 1, semicolon, we earned a pizza party. The only time you would join these sentences like this is if they have something in common. They have to be related somehow. Don't join sentences just to join a sentence. You have to join, when you join sentences, they have to somehow be related to each other. And then here's a practice. It was cold outside, period, capital, she put on a sweater. It was cold outside, semicolon, she put on a sweater. So you can join it this way with a semicolon. So you're going to work these. And then this way is use a semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma, to join. So you could say your complete sentence, semicolon, conjunctive adverbs such as however, therefore, indeed, nevertheless. And then, so our class 1, semicolon, therefore, comma, we earned a pizza party. So you're still joining these independent sentences together. And again, only do this when they're related. Here's a list of common conjunctive adverbs. The ones that you see all of the time, the most would be like however, furthermore, Also, subsequently, consequently, accordingly. So then we move on to, what do these conjunctive adverbs mean? If you want to, the and, like adding more information, would be in addition, also, moreover, besides, furthermore. And if you want to say so, like as a result of, you would say accordingly, therefore, consequently, hence, thus. But, which is an opposite or a contrast, you would say however, nevertheless, nonetheless, instead, otherwise. If you want to say or and, two blank are the same. So you want two. So if you could say likewise, which would be the same, or similarly, which would be the same. Or you could prove your point, like as in indeed or in fact. And time-wise would be, we were at the park, semicolon, meanwhile, comma, the kids were in school. So you could have that as in dealing with time. So this is the practice. It was cold outside. She put on a sweater. It was cold outside, semicolon, therefore, comma, she put on a sweater. So go ahead and work these when you are finished. Now, a complex sentence is something a little different. It's similar to a compound sentence. However, it contains an independent clause and a dependent clause. And the dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. And subordinating conjunction would be like when. So if we just say the cake is brown, that is a complete sentence. But if you put the subordinating conjunction at the beginning, when the cake is brown, that is now not a complete thought. You have to have, it's dependent on more information to be a complete thought. So when the cake is brown, comma, remove it from the oven. And you could also put the subordinating conjunction in the middle. So you can have the subordinating conjunction at the beginning of the sentence, and you can have a subordinating conjunction in the middle of the sentence. You will definitely lose if you don't try. So you will definitely lose as a complete sentence. You don't try is a complete sentence. And then we put if you don't try, which of course is dependent. It's not a complete thought. It has to be added to a dependent clause. So if the dependent clause comes first, use a comma to separate it from the independent clause. Here's our Webis list, which is what we call our subordinating conjunctions. These are common to Webis, but that's not all of the Webis list. And C is for clause. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. So independent clause would be IC, it stands alone. Dependent clause would be DC, and it is not a complete, it doesn't stand alone like an adult. Adult can stand alone, but babies are dependent on their parents. That's why it's dependent. So let's practice. Drag the boxes. So we'll see the boxes over here. Drag the yellow box over the dependent clause in each sentence. And you've seen some of these before. It's kind of a practice. So drag the boxes to show the dependent clause in each complex sentence, and use the circle to mark the subordinating conjunctions. Example, if you make good grades, comma, I get to go to the football game. So if is our subordinating conjunction. If I make good grades is your dependent clause. I'm going to drag it over. We decided to go swimming since it was a sunny day. So you can go ahead and just stretch that out. And then get your circle and say, since it is a sunny day. That is how you're going to work these. So drag the blue circle over your Webis, or your subordinating conjunction. And then let's review. An independent clause is also called a blank. Put that there. The 3 ways to join 2 independent sentences to make a compound sentence are here. A complex sentence contains 2 clauses. A dependent clause begins, what are those 2 clauses? And then a dependent clause begins with a what? So answer these. And when you are finished, be sure to turn this into Canvas for a grade.